Steps, and I'm here live today, kind of doing something different. I'm not out in the Airstream craft camper today to do our live. I thought I would do something that's been on my to-do list, reupholster my piano bench. So I am in the piano room. I generally teach about 12 students every single week on either piano or guitar. This year I have more heavy on the guitar than piano. I guess it's equal, about equal, half and half this year. For the past couple years, I don't know, the word got out that I teach guitar too. So anyway, I kind of prefer to do piano. I just feel a little bit more comfortable doing it than guitar, but I can also do the guitar. But so that's a little bit about me. But today we are going to reupholster this bench, and let me show you what I am up to, because it's a mess. It's a mess. So I got this. It was practically brand new when I got it, but you can see that it's just the fabric is worn down, and then the piping on it has all worn off. And as soon as the piping, I don't know if you can see that, but as soon as that piping started wearing down, then the kids started pulling on it. So then it like let out more. I'm going to turn on a light here. Hopefully that'll help us out. And you can see it's a very ugly yellow. And of course it's gotten dirty over the years. I've been teaching piano on this one, maybe 5 or 6 years. And like I said, it looked brand new when I got it. The piano really had never been played. It was given to me out of the kindness of someone's heart. It was actually, the couple that gave it to me was the lady's sister's piano. She had bought it brand new and then passed away, I guess. And so she got it thinking someday she will learn how to play piano, never did, and was moving. So they needed to get rid of it and would like it to go to somebody who would use it. So as you can see, my piano bench definitely gets a lot of use, and so much so. And then yesterday I set my book down here, and part of the padding fell onto the floor. And I was like, okay, I got to do this. I've had the fabric, because usually the fabric is the hard part, right? So I got some upholstery fabric. This is a piece, they say 48 by 54. I got it for $6 at a thrift sale, and it's gray. It's kind of got so it's been sitting in the corner of my piano studio all this time. So this is, I do everything else in grays in my house. So I figured whatever I can use here for $6, I can redo this. The other thing that I'm going to be using is some foam that I have from, actually, I did the cushions in the Airstream camper. So in some of the cushions, we did add some padding, or we had to add some padding. So anyway, I have that, and I was kind of testing it out. I wanted to get it kind of squared off here before I tear it too far apart, so that I could just put this inside. There's just a little bit too big. I super wish I had spray glue, but I don't, and I'm too cheap and too much in a hurry. Like, okay, I've decided to do this today. I don't know if you guys ever do that, but if you ever just decide today's the day this project is going to be done, and that's how I feel about this. So I'm not going to go searching town for some spray glue. I got a couple of tools too here to work with, hopefully to get that padding off, the rest of it off. But before we get too far, I do want to get enough padding. I just have like 2 odd pieces, so that's what I'm going to have to work with. Because obviously the padding is like, this piano, it had the original, it hadn't actually been tuned. It hadn't been tuned in like forever since the factory delivered it. It had the date on it, because usually, I don't know if you knew this, but usually tuners put their date and what they did on, or not, at least put their date that they were there and their phone number. And this was factory tuned when it was delivered to her house, and never since then. So I had the second tuning, because by the time I moved it to my house, it was out of tune. So anyway, this is, I want to make sure I'm kind of cutting square here. I don't want to be cutting too much off, because we don't want to do that again. If you're concerned and want to do this totally project right, you probably want to have some spray glue to put down this foam. Foam is expensive. I don't know if you've noticed that. We did find foam, actually. I got that a little crooked, so I'm going to trim that a little bit. Foam is really expensive. We found it at Fred Meyer, big rolls of foam. That was the best way to get it when we were redoing campers. So, I don't know. Anyway, scissors cuts it. You can see the cut line. That's okay. It's going to be inside. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And let me know if you're here. Like I said, hi, Ethan. Good to see you. I am Dory, and like I said, I am working on this piano bench today, and I hope that you'll check in and tell me how life is going and while I work here. And I started taking it off. There is like a piece that keeps the bench lid from coming off too far, and I just was taking the hinges off, so unfortunately I'm not strong enough to do screws, so I really have to get it braced. Oh boy, trying not to strip them out. Ugh. Ouch, that was my fingers. So much for playing piano and orchestra tonight, huh? No, stop it. Sorry, that's Poco. Well, I don't know. I can't get this off. I am wimpy. Am I going the wrong way? That could be the question. I had it going for the other side. So that's the weird part. I got the other side off. I had to press in hard. Oh, who knew tools? Make sure that I try to go live every Monday and Thursday afternoon, and I think I'm starting to like, why? I'm gonna go the other way. This is making me mad. So right off the bat, I'm not gonna be able to do anything if I can't get this off. I don't want to take it out of the wood. Again, seriously. I do think I had it. It's not going at all. So this had, like, under the hinges, it had the original plastic on it. It's kind of funny. Like, under everything, because, they would plastic wrap this. But this is terrible fabric. I don't know why this isn't coming out. Lefty loosey. Is it going? Yeah, it's going lefty. I cannot get it. Should have had my husband do it before. See, this is my tool that I got for Christmas 2 years ago. I was like, I want a drill. I don't want a electric screwdriver. He's like, I keep watching you trying to get screws out of things and you're not getting it out. And I'm like, it's because I don't have enough a muscle to do it. I'm wimpy. Let me see what I can find here. I can't even find these don't look like Phillips heads. I can't even find a Phillips head here. What is going on in my life? What is this? Found one. Why is it so hard to find a Phillips head screwdriver? Oh. Anyway, so I can never find the tools in my husband's collection. So that's why he thought by getting me that it would help me out. But honestly, the reason I can't get things out is because I'm not strong enough. I have carpal tunnel from playing piano too many years. Hey, I'm getting it out by hand. Now, why won't this work? I had to loosen it for the power tool. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for subscribing. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit that notification button so you know. Apparently, I have to like loosen it for the machine. Once it gets loose, it's okay. It's just getting it loose. Come on. It's coming. If I would have thought it was going to be this hard, I would have done this before it got on live, I guess. Definitely not good for my carpal tunnel. This is not an arthritis, carpal tunnel friendly project. But, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. Losing it. I don't want to bend it. I'm gonna about break it. Trying to get this last piece out. Last screw. Why? Maybe my bit is too small? I don't know. I don't know tools enough. I really wanted a drill so I can make holes in things. So maybe he'll hear this Mother's Day I could get a drill. I don't know. Nobody watches me anymore from my family, so nobody will know. That's what I need. Hopefully I didn't bend this, torque this out. I don't know why the regular screwdriver is working with my man power, woman power. Jeez. It's not going easy today. I hope this is no indication of the rest of this project. Sometimes it's like that though. Sometimes when you DIY, starting one thing like opens a whole envelope of other things. I'm gonna keep that with it. We got it. There's the original plastic. All right, so next on the board is trying to get all these staples out so I could get this fabric off. And I think this is gonna come off maybe in two. It's gonna have this ribbon, and I'm not planning on putting the ribbon back. I tell you what, I don't even, like I have music here in the bench because it does have the flip top on it. But it's honestly the music that I got with the bench originally. I don't use it. I really don't use it. So let's see how this is gonna go, huh? Oh, much easier, those staples. Thank you. So a lot of upholstering, at least what I do, is just kind of going backwards. Poco. Going backwards from what it starts out with. So you want to kind of take notes. How is this put together? And then put it back together the same way. I mean, that's the idea, or similar. I probably won't be this fancy on the back side because, like I said, I don't ever open up the bench. I'm anticipating that probably at some point I'm going to have to do this again because, like I said, this is more, I kind of use this as an industrial bench. It's not like, you know, the average Joe who maybe plays once in a while or at Christmas and Easter. I'm having kids in every week that are playing. So I just wear down on the fabric and who knows, I could always also change my mind on my decorations. I would love to paint the piano, but man, I don't want to mess with it just because I don't like the orange look of it. Maybe I could, I don't know. Should maybe try a small spot and try some like stain on it, gel stain. I could do that. It's just so orange looking, but maybe it won't look as, my hope is by putting a gray cover on it, it's gonna make it not look so orange. This is like a workout today. I feel like this is my day, I guess. So I've been kind of contemplating, you know, usually Mondays and Thursdays, I go live on Facebook and YouTube on Prairie Scraps. But Facebook is now getting rid of my lives after 30 days. So I can't, you know, it's not staying there. Whereas YouTube, it stays. So I'm thinking about just exclusively doing YouTube and then only doing little reels and stuff, because the reels they leave. Like, why do all that work to do a live over on Facebook when they're just going to take it off and ditch it? You have to like save it and reload, you know, like why bother? I don't know. That's what I'm thinking about doing. I might be soon only a YouTuber. Who knows? So this is working out pretty good. It's coming off. This is a little piece of like, I think I have some of this, so I could use it if I so chose. And I don't know how this is going to come off. I think this is just a piece of fabric. Nothing fancy. I probably could reuse this fabric if I wanted. We'll see. We'll see what we do. A lot of times when I do reupholster, a lot of times I'll just leave the stuff underneath, but this is so bad underneath, and I know I have to add in some of the new, what do you call it? The new padding into it. So it kind of just needs to be dissected. It's in such bad shape. I have a feeling that the padding underneath is gonna just disintegrate. I think this is a good time to do this because, and this is the other thing, I'm gonna have to be chintzy with staples because my husband, you know, I kind of sprung it on him. He's like, I said, do you know where the stapler is? And he's like, when do you need it? And I'm like, at 1 o'clock. It was 12:30 when I asked him. So kudos to him. He went and found me some staples, and there's a few in the stapler. So we're gonna just do the best we can with what we got. See how it goes. And this does have, like, the cushion has the trim. Why are my words not coming to me today? Kind of weird. It has piping on it, and I'm not putting the piping back on. I know how to do it. I actually even have piping on hand. Why is that not coming? Hey, that worked. This is really cruddy here. It's really dirty. I have the piping to even make it, and I know how to make the piping, but because the kids really pull on it, I don't want to go through the trouble of putting piping on that they're just going to rip apart, so. This is something. My little piano garbage. I always throw I use Post-it notes on everybody's thing, and so I always keep a little garbage can right here. Oh, I see a staple right there. I'm just trying to get all the staples out. That one didn't come. I guess we won't be reusing that trim. Like I said, I think somewhere along the way I picked up some of this trim. I often use it for, I don't even know, it's got to be somewhere in my ribbon because I use it like as a piece of ribbon. And as I'm pulling this off, it actually is very dirty. Like dust is coming out of it, so I probably shouldn't reuse it. But I have done some reupholstery, like just right over the top of whatever was on there because it was just easier. Boy, that's easier than trying to, if it'll come off that way, it's desirable that way. There we go. That one, not so much, I guess. Some of them will rip off like that, some not so much. So anyway, usually I'm, kind of doing more crafty things, but I thought, you know what? I've been wanting to do this. This is kind of a DIY thing. So I'll just go live and do it. We'll see how far we can go. You'll hopefully get the idea of how to reupholster. At one point, I didn't reupholster. I made covers for my couches, like the painter's cloth covers, and those wore off too with having 5 kids on it for a long time. But it worked to change my couches and kind of protect some of the surfaces for a long time. So that was a nice cheap way to upgrade my furniture. And that's where I figured out how to make the piping to match the furniture. I actually did that too. I have a little stool actually I should do in this someday when I'm really excited about doing piping, because it's got piping in it, because I have a little fabric covered stool in my it's actually in my bedroom now. Sometimes it's been in my living room, just depending. I'm definitely getting allergies from this. The dust in it are horrendous. Well, I was saying that the padding, this padding stuff is pretty spendy because it's a petroleum product. So I don't know what the solution to that is. It's been forever that it's been an expensive thing. But we found like twin size mattress pads at Fred Meyer. We don't have any near us, but Fred Meyer is kind of like grocery store and department store all put together in the United States. And it's cool because they had these big rolls of mattress pad, and we were able to use those like to put more padding in our campers on chairs and things like that wherever we needed it. The corners usually have more than just one. There's the end. I found the end. My nail feels like it's ripped out. Okay, I want to make sure I get the staples off the floor because these are laminate and I don't want to scratch them. All right, let's see if we can get this one ripped off. Oh yeah, that came off. The corner did. Maybe that worked and it didn't hurt my hands as much. Just use my pliers to pull that up. Oh boy. I didn't realize till this moment that this stuff that I had probably picked up and thought was more like ribbon actually was used in upholstering. I guess I kind of know that, but I didn't really think about it. I've been hoarding that forever. I don't know what it's called. I'm sure it has a word. If you know what the word is that they call this ribbon they use in upholstering to cover up the staples or to cover up everything, tell me. I'm sure it has an official name. Almost done with this, so thanks for hanging in there. Even if you fast forward to the parts you want to see, I totally appreciate you being here on my channel. I do have a small business, and if you ever want to see my finished goods, I like to take old things and make them pretty again, and this is, a great example of it. If you ever find just a lonely piano, I find them all the time, and I am always like, I don't want another piano bench, but I kind of do. Actually, the organ benches usually are the ones that look better. If you ask my opinion, the piano benches are usually, they're harder to find. They must just fall apart or something. If you find they're not the same size. Usually the organs need a higher bench, I think, because there's foot pedals you play. Okay, this whole thing is going in the trash because it is gross. Probably just years and years and years. All right. Can't pick it up. And I might leave that. Oh gosh, you guys, there's another row of staples under this. There's more. And then there's more. Oh, and then the dog wants to come in. Huh. There's a whole nother layer. I think if I can get it going, it might be easier. Whole nother layer of staples. So just so you know, they just staple away. Like this piece and the other piece, you know, that little ribbon that was on here, that trim, those are just to cover up the edges if you're upholstering. I've never really taken classes, but everything I've learned, I've talked to an upholsterer who actually has done it like for 30 years, and she's like, you just do it and go backwards from what you did, you know, took off, and you learn. That's how you learn. So it's kind of an interesting trade and kind of a dying one. Like a lot of people, come on. It's just not something you can find anymore. It's hard to get somebody to reupholster something for you. But I know in our area, the bigger thing, a lot of people don't like to do like the couches anymore. Like you used to just change out your couch. Sorry, I'm getting hot in here. You used to change out your couch and, you know, because the couches were made so well. Well, tell you what, the frame of my couch is always like falling apart more than it's staying together anymore. Can't even get my fingers in there yet. Which gave me an idea. Did that pull it? Nope, that did not. Unfortunately, it won't shut if you don't take all the staples out, so it's gonna be, that'll get the, I like these, oh, it's urethane foam. Urethane foam, 100%. Under penalty of law if you take that off. This one says, only the resilient filling materials contained in this article meet California Bureau of Home Furnishings flammability requirements. Care should be exercised near open flame or burning cigarettes. Okay. Well, we don't do those in the piano room, so that's good. Don't do them anywhere, but, you know. There's a lot of staples in this. Not gonna lie. A lot of staples. I might have to quit on this. I don't know. This might be a 2-dayer. Just because it's hard for me to grab all these. I don't know though. Maybe my daughter would help me. My one daughter is pretty good about helping me with stuff like this. She likes projects, taking things apart, redoing things. I think she might. Lydia likes to do that. It really is needing a, ouch, that was my finger. It is needing a screwdriver to get under there though. Don't put your hand on the other side. Well, that was 2 of my fingers I've smashed. I guess if it was down that far, if I could get the fabric out, it might be okay to just leave it there, but you know, that's gonna be the one place. Oh yeah, there's blood. There is blood today. We're working hard for this one. If it's down in there enough, please tell me there's not more staples. And mine's not gonna have, you know, nice pretty corners like this. Oh, look at me, I'm really scratched up. I'm bleeding everywhere. Yeah, go at my leg and put a hole in my leg. Wouldn't that be smart? For sure, watch where your fingers are. I feel like I'm not strong enough for this. This is why I was putting this off, this project. You guys ever have, what project do you have laying around that you want to get done? It's long overdue. This was one of those ones where I knew I had all the supplies forever and ever. And see, this has got the piping even around this bottom edge. All right, Poco. Open the window. Put some air in because I'm getting hot. I don't know. I might just leave those staples in because I'm drawing blood trying to get it off. It might not be worth my effort unless they're like sticking out. I think I could just leave it there. And this, oop, there's something sticking up there. There's something poked me. There it is. Somebody broke a staple off. It was only a little tiny staple. The rest of it's not even there. The padding, the fiber fill is just, it's crumbling apart. So this is long overdue. I might have to, I was thinking I could just use that fiber fill that's in there and just, you know, leave it in there and go over the top, but I think it's gonna have to come off. I wonder what they mean by it doesn't meet California standards. What is with California and their standards? Oh my goodness, I ripped the... Sometimes it is mind over matter, right? Because definitely wimpy finding. Hope you can see that. I'm actually just ripping the fabric. The fabric's, for the most part, just ripping off around it. There we go. I think there's another one of those wayward staples down there. And you could probably do the tediousness of taking the staples out, especially when you want to go over it with a staple gun. These are pretty tiny staples though, and I think my staple gun's gonna throw out some bigger staples. So we'll just see. We'll see. The right way to do it would be to take all the staples off. I'm not sure if it's going to be worth my time though, so because of the struggles I'm having. Worth my effort, worth my bloody fingers. This is going to be a hard-won project if I ever get it finished. I would like to say I'm going to go and take all the staples out, but I have a feeling I won't. This area is that area that's totally, there it is. I think that staple, there's a couple staples there that are kind of already up. There we go. Ah, come off. If you could get the screwdriver on it, you can get them out, but torn nails, scratches everywhere. Oh. So Saturday, I'm going to be in an event on Facebook. Speaking of Facebook, on Prairie Scraps. It's a Trash to Treasure event. Good thing I didn't do this because this is kind of tedious. Probably not so fun to watch either, so I totally appreciate it if you're watching. But it's a Trash to Treasure event starting at 8 a.m. Pacific time. So I'd love to have you come over there, Prairie Scraps. It's in the DIY Arts and Crafts group on Facebook. So hopefully if you're over on Facebook, you'll pop in and check out all the great ideas people have for turning trash into treasure. I'm excited. Trash to treasure is my kind of thing, so I'm excited to see what everybody does. Oops. That'll be fun. See, I'm still trying to decide. I think I've got my project picked out. I think I've got it picked out. I sure do wish that my my computer, I usually do YouTube and Facebook at the same time, so then it doesn't bother me if they get rid of my Facebook stuff. But my computer is just, something attacked my computer and it is not working for me. It won't load up and won't do it. So I'm having to do separate ones if I do it. It might be just moving to, oh my gosh, I can't get this corner up. Even ripping, I can't get a hold of it. Now I've got it partially up. There it is. But then they did something weird on the corners, that's for sure. So this is just particle board underneath, and then they stick that, oops, I lost a staple. Not too bad though, I only have one down there. Any staples are kind of high. I'm trying to get them out. I don't want them to impede my next covering this up. See if we can get that corner pried up. I can't seem to get under, oh, I see. I found it. These two staples here on the corner were facing a totally different way. It's like they're it's kind of encouraging because you don't have to be a perfect stapler. You know, they have the pneumatic guns that they're using to staple, probably anyway. They should have in the 80s had guns, you know, staple type guns that they were using. And they're all over the place. They're definitely, you know, have this malfunctions too, just like I do. Hopefully they didn't have to bleed like I did. But, you know, it's a thing. But this one's way out on the edge. So they were clearly having issues with their staple guns too. I'm not the only one having tool issues. Okay. That one seems kind of high. They're all kind of high down here. Maybe it's where they started. They probably just start at the same spot over and over and over again. Oh yeah, here's an end, I think. Well, at least a seam. So this is going to be extra. And this is going to be a no-sew upholstery. I'm just going to put down my padding and put down, oh my gosh, I cannot get in there. I'm going to put down my fabric on top of that and staple it on. That is my plan. Oops, sorry. Take you for a little ride there. All right, we're getting around the corner here and we're going to be off with the fabric. I'll be glad to say, I'm not sad about this yellow, harvest yellow fabric. All right, Tori, get your hand out of there. I did get this earlier this week. I did get some new products up on my website. If you wanted some finished goods, some of my signs, I got a coffee sign up there. I got some Easter things up there that I've recently made on lives. It's prairiescraps.com. And we're here on Prairie Scraps on YouTube, and I'm over on Facebook. Love to make sure you connect with me, say hello. I'm in Idaho, USA. Some of these, when you get the fabric out from underneath them, then they're high enough to actually grab on and get them out. So let's see, we're down. Get my knee out. Don't pry towards your digits or your legs or whatever. Always look where you're pushing towards because you don't want to put holes in yourself like I did. Okay, I think we're loose. This white part is not going to come off because it is stapled down in the center, and I'm thinking it can just kind of stay there. I might just actually dump this out the door with dust and stuff. I want to make sure I have all the loose loose ends. So I won't take it off yet, but I do want to get some of this dust off. Whew, that is one dirty piano bench. My hands are feeling disgusting. All right, here we go. Back to the front. This is what it looked like. Last look. Last look. I probably should have taken a picture of the before, but here it is. We're gonna take it off. And yeah, I think it's pretty kind of disintegrating before our eyes. So I'm just gonna, oops. Yep, gonna need to clean the floor. Oh, they've even got that one stapled in. Goodness sakes. They had it stapled in on the edge even. All right, whoops. I just dumped dirt on the inside again. It's really gross. Vacuum cleaner might have been better, but all right. So I'm going back, trying to keep the bugs out here. We're gonna get any loose staples out so they don't impede our way here. I'm gonna wash my hands. This is the good thing about being in the house. So I have water. I feel thankful to have a bathroom in my piano studio. All right, let's see what's still kind of, there was one I thought on the end. Maybe I flipped it around. I want to make sure I don't have any of these staples really sticking up hard. But they're, oh yeah, here. I switched ends on myself. Oops. So now I've got two on the floor. I gotta find, oh my goodness, they have like 6 staples here on this end corner. That's why I was having such problems getting it up. If I over staple, you won't have to be upset about it because, you know. All right, one of those staples I can see right now. Well, that one even broke. All right, let's take a look at what we got. I think that's pretty good. So now what I'm gonna do is actually go back to this side and we are gonna set up our, good thing I moved that away, our padding, and just put that on there. It would be easier if this was put down. We've just had this stashed for a while and we are gonna piece this together. Unfortunately, I just don't have any other choices. And I don't want to staple through it. And then we're going to break out the fabric, see how this looks. I actually never even opened it up. This was actually the, I got this from the lady in town that has been doing upholstery work for over 30 years. She was selling off some of her stuff and I'm like, find one. Because she was selling some of the odds and ends really cheap. And so I was like, find one that's really good piece of it that I could, you know, in the color scheme that we like. So I was kind of hoping, I did notice, oops, we got the, I was hoping that I could use, because I saw that she had this section kind of cut off here, and I was hoping it would be big enough, oops, cobwebs, because it's been sitting in my corner for so long. I'm gonna just unroll this whole thing onto the floor so we've got it. All right. I was hoping this one corner that she had cut off would work on the piano bench, and it looks like it will. Just like that. Yay! And then I need to leave enough on the end to wrap around because we don't want to have that. Is that gonna look nice? All right. So I need to extend this out a little bit further. Is that the right piece? Yeah, I think so. Yep, that's what I have left over. I need to extend this out a little further. Ooh, oofta, that was rough on my scissors. And we want to get enough to go towards the end. Sort of like wrapping paper, right? I don't want to cut it off too much, but I do want it cut off so I can work with it a little bit easier. I don't want to have a ton of waste. You know how I am. Even ribbon, I don't like to waste too much, so I want to try not to cut in a crooked. Obviously, my fabric scissors are not for this kind of fabric. It's pretty tough. Well, and these scissors, they have seen better days, seen better days. All right, come on. Just a little bit more, that's all I need. Okay, so that is what we're gonna do. I think it'll press itself out, and I'm just gonna flip it back over, and this is what we have to work with. We wanna make sure this, I think I'm gonna put the cut, you know, the ends that I didn't cut together there, and then put this down, kind of like a sandwich. And it does go a little beyond, and that's gonna be okay. I'm just gonna make sure this is there. And then what we'll do is we'll staple it on, yep, I've got plenty. Okay, we'll staple it on each side first to get it set down, right? So that it kind of secures it. And I gotta remember where my stapler is, because this is a backwards one. This is an ergonomic one. Ah, that wasn't good. I'm gonna get a hammer because I know that I don't have the strength for staple guns. I did find my husband's hammers. He'll be so proud of me. Actually, I'm trying to conserve this. Why? I may have to buy myself some new staples. I don't know. These might be too big. Well, staple number 1 is out. I didn't get it in, unfortunately. All right. Try this again. And I do feel kind of a high. There, that one came out so much easier. These are such tinier. I maybe need to get myself some smaller staples, because that's usually, let's see. Nope, it's not going in. Yeah, it's not going in at all. It's too big. These are pretty big. These might be industrial staples. Those are way too long. Let's see what we can do here. See, I only had that many. They're pretty long. Let's see if we can find some. Does he have any shorter ones? This is what he gave me for the staple supply. Isn't that fun? This is the one I had. That's pretty long too. Well, we might be at a commission. This might work. We'll try these. They fit in there. The stapler is supposed to be ergonomically correct. All right, so we're gonna get this down. I don't want this under it because I wanna maybe use that just to kind of cover up. Well, that was closer to down. And I can nail it down. So that sort of worked. All right, let's go to the other side. This might be a staple finding expedition that we have here. He gave me that jar and I was like, really? You just spent 15 minutes trying to find that? That's crazy. That one looks like it would work. Some of these look like they're duds. They're all bent up. I'm gonna help him out by getting rid of them. All right, and then this side, we're going to pull as tight as we can on this side to get it on, because you want tension, and make sure you have a little bit better. All right, let's see what we've done. Trying not to put my tools on the piano at all because you don't want to scratch it up. All right, how does that look? Nice. It's just one staple on each side. I think that's going to work out really nice. That could even be tighter, I think. This side. I think I need to pull it tighter. So you want to pull it taut. And I'm seeing, like, if it's not tight enough, it doesn't actually pull. It makes it look too square on the other side, if that makes sense. So you can see, like, the definition of the corner of the, do I have that right? Yep. I'm just going to leave that. Now take a look. Looks better. See, it looks nice and rounded here, whereas if you only have it like this, you'll see the square of that, and I kind of just want it to look nice and rounded. All right, let's see if we can get the rest of this on here, or at least get it tacked down. So all I have to do is get some more staples, and you get the idea of what it's going to look like. So I'm going right in the middle, and I'm going to pull as tightly as I can and staple there. Don't staple your finger. That's my advice to you. All right, and then we're gonna go to the opposite end, and you just wanna keep, when you're upholstering, you wanna keep going opposite, right? Go one side, then the other side, and you could see they kind of did that, like here's a lineup of a whole bunch of staples. So, oops, I think I dropped another staple. So they probably did about the same thing. And I just want these out because I don't want them like scratching things, or I'm going to just take these out because they're sticking up kind of high. Now I've got a system. Oops, don't put my hand there though. Ah, and then I don't have a system. I know corners I'm going to need kind of clear. So we'll get those out of there. I'm like huffing and puffing today. Today is hard work. This is hard work. All right. Now, to get this all tucked in there without pulling out that stuff and get it stapled down, I'm gonna, what did I do? Oh, I'm like, what did I do with my staple gun? All right, so I'm gonna pull as hard as I possibly can on this because I want that nice round corner, and then staple it down. All right, and it's not actually going down. I'm gonna have to go back through with a nail or a hammer and get that down. You can see like this is slipped out a little bit here. So before I do each side over here, I'm gonna make sure that I get that shimmied in there so it's more underneath. But let me show you what that looks like and how that's gonna look. And see, you can see I actually got that kind of a wrinkle in there. So I think, I don't know. I think it'll pull out. I think it'll pull out. But this is going to be the corner that I really need to work on to get it all in there because I don't want it to be a point of, you see that? It's kind of a trick to get the tension you want without too much tension. Does that make sense? But that's what it's going to look like when we are done. All I'm going to do is keep going back and forth. And like I said, I think this side definitely needs a little attention. So I'm gonna, make sure that I get this side down really well, the right side of the staple gun. Those are working better for me anyway. Let's see if we can get this, see what that looks like. It's a lot of like, turn it over, turn it back over, make sure you got it. This is kind of the side I'm worried about because Because I've got that seam there with our padding, so I want to kind of even it out a little bit, make sure it's all the way down here. No holes in the middle. We don't want like an empty space between the padding. And like I said, I probably will end up doing this, you know, several times. Now, I have my holes here, and we don't want to hit those holes. So I'm going to watch for that because we don't want to have staples in those holes. I really need this little garbage can out here so I can use it. And then as I ran my hand over, I felt some of these were up a little, so I'll be sure we get those. And it's just a back and forth, back and forth. And I'll be sure, like at the head of this, once I get done here, I'll be sure to put an after picture on there for you so that you can see what it looks like when it's finished. You know, it's not going to have the fancy the ribbing on it, but it sure is going to look nicer than it was with the yellow falling apart, with everything falling out of it. Got a little piece of staple right there where it like broke off. I just don't want it sticking up. It's nice when they pop out like that, right? Once you get the fabric out of there, it gives you something to grip on, that's for sure. It also feels more raised once you get the fabric out of there. These are not coming up as well. Oh, there's one. And these right here, I kind of want them out because they're near that, that little, where's my hammer? Give a girl a hammer. She'll fix anything, right? Okay, so we're gonna, I don't know, I need to maybe peel this out a little bit here. There we go. I'm hoping the only thing I've been kind of worried about with this is that I was a little worried that it would be hard to close the lid. Oops, I almost did it backwards. This is what happens when you're old-fashioned and struggle. It's a struggle to change. I think I'm going to cut this little extra off here because I want it to tuck in there and I don't want it to be bigger than the other side. I think I cut it too big. Don't cut your seat cover. That would be bad, wouldn't it? It probably would have been easier to cut this if I had done it, you know, right on the cardboard. Or right on the wood when I got it off. That would have been smart, huh? Okay, so I'm trying to go right across and just hit this up. Where's that hole? Okay, off to the side. And we want the corner in. It does take some muscle, so this is definitely not a project to do if you don't have any muscle, or do it with two people if you can. I've definitely ended up having to get my husband's help with things sometimes. It happens. Or I get midway into a project and he has to come help me. Let me show you that now. See how that looks. I think it's looking pretty good. There is kind of a raise there, but I think it'll just kind of settle in. I'm kind of good with it. I think once I get more staples in there, that's where we want to go, like here. Is that where that, yeah. Where's the holes? Okay. We want to go right here. I'm going to staple myself yet with this. Oops, that one didn't go down. Hammer. Okay. Who knew it was so much work? There we go. So I think that's much nicer. I can kind of still see this little part right here. I guess it's on this side. I don't know. I'm going to have to find some. All right, I'm going to go on this side over here and get this end. You do want to do more evenly around, but I'm panic stapling. I'm panic stapling on the end, or that other end, because I want it to turn out. I want it to stay down. And once we're all done here, I'll go around and make sure I got all the staples down really well. And I'll also probably staple this backing on again, the one that was here. If you can at all, use some of the, oh, where are our holes? Don't go into the holes. Oh, it's on this side. Okay, we're good. I all of a sudden thought, what did I do? No holes. There you go. I might be getting out of staples here shortly. So, but I'll be able to show you kind of what it'll look like. There we go. And then on the corners, what you want to do for the corners is, at least I do. There we go. What do you think? You know, it's not a perfect job, but it'll do. I'll need a little bit more pulling and stapling to get those bubbles out, but I think it's going to be good. Got new padding. It's not too much where it gets the kids, you know, raised up too much. So for the corners, what I will do actually is pull in on the corner. And you want to staple kind of again, just like they did. I pull the corner straight in into a nice flat, so it's kind of going like this. And then we will staple right there. And then you bring this side over and put another staple in. It's almost like sewing with staples. And then you bring this side in. And you don't want to tack it down so much that you can't get in there and cut out the excess fabric, because you definitely do want to cut out the excess fabric. That was it. I'm out of staples. So see how that corner looks? You can see on the back, I'll trim that after I get done here, because you don't want all that extra bulk. It won't allow the bench to be shut, but it will look all nice once we get that all stapled down. So there it is. Isn't that nice? I think it's going to be so much better. I know it's not like perfect. I will staple away. Stapling away really does help the perfection, you know, the look of it, because it will be tighter, especially like here you could see a bubble, and a few places I'll probably take the staple out a little bit and move it in more when I see too much of a bubble or whatever. We'll work really hard to get this all flattened out so it's nice and flat. So it just takes, you know, go round and round and round till you get it the way you like it. I may have too tight of one right here. I may release that. We'll see. But I appreciate you coming along. And like I said, this is Dory with Prairie Scraps. And make sure you do all the things. And thanks for hanging out today. We will see you next Monday for sure. If you would like to come over on Facebook, I will be going right now over to Facebook to do another DIY video. I think I'm going to do a plant, something plant related. So hopefully you'll come over there and join me on Facebook in just a few minutes. It's Prairie Scraps. I'm Dory, and I hope you have a very blessed day. And make sure you keep on crafting.